Hi, Shakita. Hi, Anika. How are you? I have a doubt. Today, ma'am discussed about some poems, and one of that was Ulysses. Do you know about it?
Yeah, Ulysses is one of the well-known hero in the literature, especially in Greek epic. Did you heard about the Odyssey?
Yes, of course. I remember the name.
Yeah, in the Odyssey, he was one of the main character. He is well known for his perseverance, his self-discovery, and also his innate human capacity, his spirit to discover and travel everywhere.
And I remember that it was written by Alfred Tennyson.
The Odyssey is a Greek epic, but there is a poem called Ulysses written by Alfred Tennyson.
So, Ulysses. It's a famous poem written by the poet laureate of Great Britain, Alfred Lord Tennyson, in 1800.
The poem takes the form of the dramatic monologue spoken by the famous character Ulysses, who also appears in the Greek epic The Odyssey.
The poem opens with Ulysses coming back home from after a 30-year adventure which saw him take part in the Trojan War. The narrator comes out clearly with his discontent towards everything around him. The description here fits animal behavior. The only thing they do that might recur human thought, the capacity to see beyond the immediate moment, is the greedy act of hoarding. It is in the Shapiro 25. Towards the end, however, it becomes apparent that neither the king nor his subjects are responsible for these shortcomings. On contrary, this emanates from the fact that these two parties cannot match mentally because they know not me, which is depicted in the line 5. Line 6 to 10. Ulysses here decides that he cannot rest and wants to travel beyond. He does not want to live his life staying idle, but to enjoy his life in adventurous way even in old age. He wants to live in that way till his last breath. He remembers the great life which is surrounded with joys and sufferings. He waded through his life with his loved ones, and sometimes he has to face it alone. He uses, through scuttling drift the rainy heads, to speak about his coming out of the storms and obstacles over the sea. Through the lines 11 to 15, Ulysses is saying of his own travels and knowledge gained through it. He says that he has got name and fame through his adventures. He has also come into contact with cities, manners of them, climates, governments, and councils. He insists that he still has hungry heart to quench the thirst. He says he is respected as he journeyed most parts of the world. In the lines 15 to 20, Ulysses is turned towards the war experiences he has in his life. He also remembers his war participation on plains of Troy in Trojan War, and he is delighted with peers in the war field. He declares that he is part of all he has met, even though he affirms that he has seen is letting him know that there is more to be known. In these lines, he speaks again about untraveled world. Ulysses, through these lines, speaks of his wastage of time in Ithaca, where he could not satisfy the herd trust of adventurous journey. He says he moves often, but he does not like staying in one place and wants to move on further. In his opinion, to rest is rest. He wants to shine in use rather than being rested. He shows his hurry through these words that even our life is blessed with multiple lifetimes. Time will be insufficient to touch all places of the world. Thus, lines 21 to 25 show the tiredness of monotonic life of Ithaca for him. Here, Ulysses begins to decide how his life should be in remaining time. he quotes of his death and the time towards it. The remaining time should provide more energetic new exploration and enjoyment. He remembers that he has already wasted the time to be in Ithaca rather than enjoying the old way of life. He uses grey spirit to remind us that he is old and near to death, but not to his willpower. Thus, these lines refer his death thoughts, remaining lifetime, and finding knowledge. From the lines 30 to 35, Ulysses speaks that he wants to follow knowledge like sinking star. This just means two things. He himself might have compared himself like a sinking star, which means he is about to die. At the same time, we can understand knowledge should be caught as if it is going to be missed if we do not act quickly. These lines introduce the character of his son Telemachus. He declares that he is giving the authority on Ithaca to his son in these lines. He says that he loves his son. Hence, he is ready to give the scepter and authority to his son. In the following lines, Ulysses describes his son Telemachus' efficiency in ruling. He declares that his son is spotless in character. He describes his character and his ability to administer the Savior's people, and he hopes he can set them right through his patience. He suggests his son to utilize them for the good. He also opines that his son will not step back for any good work.
Lines 41 to 45. In these lines, the continuation of character description takes place as well as Ulysses gets ready to start his journey. He opines his son will adore the household gods. In the end of his parting with Ithaca, he says that now he has his duty and his son has the duty of ruling the kingdom in fair manner. After completion of description of his son's character, now his eyes fall on readily set vessels for his journey at port. It becomes evening when he is at port. There he remembers his old adventure hunger mates who have died. Lines 45 to 50. After reaching the port, he recollects his past away marines. He recollects that they are with him in not only good times but also in bad times. He affirms that the marines with him faced hardships as free and self-reliant men. They have never turned back in the adventurous world, but at the end of these lines, he comes to sense that he is old now. Not only that, but also he says that the marines also have come to old age. But this does not give despair to him because he is in opinion that every age has its work together with the honor. Lines 51 to 55. Ulysses opines that death is end to all. But before the death engulfs him, he wants to do something great which can outweigh his previous achievements. He recollects his fight with the gods in Trojan War. Such achievement is being aspired before his last breath. That is why he starts his journey to gain the intended success. Lines 56 to 60. Ulysses engulfs in praising his old warriors, and he encourages them to go fast by slashing the waters with their oars. He quotes the destiny and shows the target to achieved through their journey to his journey mates. He inspires them to reach the beyond of sunset or maybe to another world. He refers baths which are in the view of Ulysses where stars sing when they are set. Lines 61 to 65. Ulysses begins to think the outcome of journey in two ways. In his words to the marines, it is clear that he has a destination. He says the whirlpools in seas may devour them. Another way is that they may reach happy isles which can be assumed as heaven. There he has ambition to meet his co-warrior in the war of Trojan. The warrior he wants to meet is Achilles. All warriors who are presently sailing knew Achilles very well. Later, He comes to think of the age and says that the most of the life is over. There is a bit remaining part. In the final lines of the poem Ulysses, in its previous words can help in conclusion that he has a destiny and he is towards it. At the same time, he agrees that now they are not strong. They have no strength as earlier. He resumes his flashback that the warriors fought as a single heartbeat and never turned back. Later, he agrees that they are as they are, and time and faith had taken their strength and vigor. But still, they are strong in their will, even though they are not as strong as earlier physically. He affirms that they are to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield.
Enjambment is one of the relevant poetic devices used in the Ulysses. Enjambment is when a line of a poem runs into the another line without any grammatical stop. This creates a sense of momentum, mirroring, and also a sense of spirit in the poem.
Tennyson uses metaphors to convey deep emotions and ideas. For example, there is a line, "The sail beyond the sunset and the bar of all the western stars." It's a metaphor for the ultimate voyage into the unknown, perhaps even the depth.
To follow knowledge like a sinking star. In this line, Tennyson have used simile to compare the pursuit of knowledge to a sinking star, suggesting that it is fleeting but still it's captivating.
Metonymy. An example for metonymy in the poem is "free hearts, free foreheads." Here, hearts represent the desire and the forehead represents the mind.
Much is taken, much abides. This is an example of a dichotomy, which is the repetition of words or phrases separated by intervening words. This creates a rhetorical effect.
Tennyson creates vivid images that allows the readers to experience the life of Ulysses. For example, there is a phrase, "the ringing grooves of change," and also the descriptions about the sea add more beauty to the poem.
These devices work together to create a compelling and complex portrait of Ulysses. In this journey through the Tennyson's Ulysses, we have explored the poem's themes of identity, purpose, and the human condition. We have examined how Ulysses' character embodies the complexities of the human nature and how Tennyson's masterful uses of language and form brings the character to life.
Ulysses is more than just a poem. It's a reflection of our own struggles and aspirations. It reminds us that, like Ulysses, we are all on a journey of self-discovery and that the search for meaning and purpose is a lifelong quest. So, as we conclude our journey with Ulysses, let's ask ourselves,
What is our own etika, our own purpose, and our own destination? Thank you.